How's it, everyone? Today we're talking about Web3 and crypto, specifically ways to monetize using Web3 and crypto as a creator. Now, there are a lot of people that are already making their living doing something they're probably more passionate about than your average 9-to-5 job with a bunch of Web2 tools. We all hear about content creators and influencers, but Web3 is really opening a wide array of amazing new opportunities to make creation your living or make money from your creations at the very least. And today we're gonna dive into not just the best Web3 tools for how to do that, but also some of the prerequisites before you get involved in that. So let's dive right into it. Now, the first thing we need to talk about is an audience. A lot of people want to jump right into making NFTs or making a social token or doing all this stuff. That sounds really exciting, and I get it. I'm right there with you. I really want to do it all. But the truth is, the first thing that needs to happen is you need to build an audience of people who know, like, and trust you. And honestly, the best tools for doing that are Web2 tools like YouTube or Twitter or Substack or any of these other platforms that might not be the best for monetizing, but are pretty good at acquiring an audience. YouTube's algorithm is optimized to keep people engaged and watching your content. So it really is the best place for people to discover you. You need to find your creator market fit, and only once you get that going and get the ball rolling there on these Web2 platforms, probably build an email newsletter, do all this stuff, then you can transition into the Web3. Now, there are thousands of people much more successful and knowledgeable about doing this than I am, so I will let them talk about it and we will move on to the Web3 component of this video. Now, there are a lot of different options to monetize your following with Web3, but the best place to start is probably NFTs. I'm sure you've heard about NFTs, but we need to break down a few different tiers of NFTs. First of all, there are one-of-one NFTs. That means that you only make one version of that, and there is one owner of that one NFT. This can be great for being very rare and valuable, but the problem is that only one person owns it. So there's not much of a community element. Now, the second option are limited edition drops, where you make a certain amount of this NFT available and you build a little bit more of a community around it because multiple people can hold your NFTs. Like I mentioned in another video, I hold a Deathbat NFT from a band called Avenged Sevenfold, which they made 10,000 of. And now I hold that NFT and I'm in a community, and it still gives me perks and ownership, but it's not just me. So there's more people involved. And as we'll talk about later, community is very important in these things. The last option for NFTs is fractionalized NFTs. This means that not only can I just buy one NFT, but I could also buy a fraction of an NFT. So if you mint an NFT and you split it into 1,000 pieces, I can just buy 1,000th of that NFT. And this opens up the opportunities for a lot more people to get involved because they don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for the NFT, instead just buy a fractionalized share of it. So again, really good for that community element. Now, you notice I keep bringing up the community element, and because the community is very, very important to the long-term success of NFT projects. You can't just mint an NFT and then forget about it. You need to give people an incentive. And people are motivated by both intrinsic rewards and extrinsic rewards. Now, intrinsic can be something like status. Just by holding this thing, I get status. Look at Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, CryptoPunks, any of these other status symbols. The extrinsic rewards of holding this NFT might be special perks like discounted material, discounted merch, discounted upcoming drops that they have, private discords, access to talking to you once a month, do Q&As or ask me anything, one-on-one private, whatever it might be. Any of these special offerings you can give to people that hold the NFT. Give them an incentive to hold it and not just buy it, flip it, and get out. You want to build a community. Something that will help you build this community is interacting and getting involved with curators like Friends with Benefits, Flamingo DAO, Whale DAO, all of these organizations that are very aware and involved in the crypto NFT markets. And if you start interacting with them, they can kind of, if they like your project, start talking with you, helping you out, helping you plan how you're going to launch it, and also spread the word and build up demand for your project. So check out those curators and start getting involved with them to build that community. And once you have the strong Web3 native community built, you can do things like crowdfunding. Say that you're a musician and you want to record a new album. Well, there are a lot of costs that go into producing that album, not to mention the bills that you have to pay while you're making that album. A traditional approach would be to find a label, try to get a deal, get an advance so that you can survive while you're making the album. But in exchange for that, you have to give up a ton of rights, and that's if you can even find a label that's willing to sign you in the first place. The alternative to that has been to do GoFundMe campaigns. That's approaching your fans saying, hey, contribute to this project and I'll make this thing, and you maybe get a version of it or you get some benefit. I don't know exactly what perks people give on GoFundMe, but I know that the Web3 iteration of it is even cooler. And the reason is because those same artists can say, go to the Web3 native fans and say, help me fund this project and I'll make this album. And if you fund this album, I will mint the album as an NFT and I'll give you partial ownership of that NFT. And then every time that it's sold, the initial sale and all the recurring royalties that I get every time it's traded, which can be 5 or 10%, you get a percentage of. And you could also get a percentage of all the royalties from streaming and all of these other rights and benefits from funding my project in the beginning. This is so much better than just a GoFundMe campaign because it actually gives the funder actually an incentive to do it beyond just goodwill. They actually get a return on their investment. And it builds a much stronger connection between the funder and the fundee, the fan and the creator. And it creates more of this community. Now, these two use cases are just scratching the surface of the possibilities with monetizing with NFTs and all these new crypto tools. It goes so much deeper than this, but obviously I can't cover it all in this video. But to recap, if you're getting into crypto, if you've built your audience, you find your creator market fit, and you're wondering how to experiment with Web3 and crypto, start with NFTs. Start with building that community, give people incentive to hold on, and start talking with curators and getting involved with all those DAOs that are really involved in that ecosystem. And then you could do awesome things like crowdfund new projects by getting your community involved and turning them from just fans into super fans because they now have a stake in your projects and your success. I hope that you're starting to see the power of all these tools as a creator, and I'm definitely very, very excited about the whole field. I'm gonna be making a ton more content about NFT, Web3, and communities, which I think are actually one of the biggest components of all of this stuff. And if you wanna find out more about that and learn more about that, subscribe, because like I said, I'll be making a ton more content about this. And also check out this video I made on why building a community is one of the most valuable skill sets you can have as an entrepreneur going forward into this digital Web3 age. With that said, mahalo for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you next time.